young entrepreneur, as an African entrepreneur, as a non-citizen, is that you might not have access to loans. Does that make sense? How do you then raise capital? One of the best ways when you want to start a business is sweat capital. Somebody say sweat capital. Say it again. Instead of you to employ somebody initially, do some of the work yourself. Is that okay? That money you were supposed to use to pay somebody, pay it to yourself. And so it will reduce. I was the first driver of my school. I was the first security man. I was the first cleaner. I was one woman came to school and saw me at the gate. She went back and told my wife. He said, the gate man there, the security man said that my child should not come to this school again. My wife said, how is he like? Say, he has gray hair. Say, you are calling my husband security man. But I had joy that I was building a business. Most of you who are working for people here, you are just a parasite. Somebody has built it. Africans must learn to build businesses. Africans must learn to build their nations. Africans must learn to build institutions. And so I built my school from scratch. And I was doing some of the work. My children were teaching. Now, you will discover that family-based businesses are the businesses that thrive. Smithfield Feeds, Bagdash Ice Cream Parlor. Any name I'm calling, please browse them. Smithfield Feeds. Then go to the internet and browse Sabanci Foundation. Sabanci Foundation is in Turkey. They pay 5% of the total annual tax of Turkey. Imagine one family paying the 5% of the total annual tax of Turkey. Why is it that Indians, Lebanese, Chinese do well? It is that they are family-centered. The father is in the business, the mother is in the business, the sister is in the business. Because it is their own, they put in all efforts. I was in South Sudan, in Juba, and I met a Lebanese who was born in Sierra Leone. He was 25 years old. He had a master's degree from the UK. He's already in South Sudan, managing his uncle's business called the Falcon Group. I don't know if there's Falcon Group in Sierra Leone. They produce water, they produce everything. He's there managing Falcon Group and Sierra Leone. The reason people from where he comes from, the Igbos do well, the Igbos are the Jews of Nigeria. The reason they do well in their businesses is that there is, most times it's family business. Your younger brother will join you, you will train your younger brother. We'll come to that later, if I remember, because I'm not preaching from notes. So the first thing is sweat capital. Don't be a big person that you are living in Australia, white or black. You are nobody if you don't have a business. Including we pastors. You are nobody. You are still answering yes sir. Until people start answering yes sir, yes ma'am to you, you are nobody. Sweat capital. The next thing is savings, I said earlier on. Learn to take a portion of your money and put aside. I told you everything I will wear until I leave here, I don't buy. They are given to me as gifts. When you succeed, people will give you. We saw that the poor, that people avoid the poor. Am I right? The pastor was doing his birthday in Nigeria. Whether he got 700 cars as gifts. Huh? Yes, now. The pastor was raising money in Nigeria. The pastor was raising money in Nigeria. That I need, how many people can give me 1 billion? 1 billion is more than $1 Australian million. Can give me 1 billion. 10 people came out. And this 10 or 5. And others rushed that, please let us join. And give $500 million. We'll pay twice. That we are here is not because we don't know what to do. And so, put a portion of your money aside. Because when opportunities come, one of the problems this prophet had is that he had no savings. Put your money aside. How did I start importing cars? From Holland. I started saving from my little income. Saving from my little income. Saving from my little income. Don't look at me, I preach well, whether I import cars or not. Anointing without our father, Idausa said, anointing without money will lead to annoyance. Your wife wants feeding money. You don't go and meet your wife and start shouting, honey, give me money. And when you have money, your wife will call you Joe boy, darling. If you don't have money, your wife will call you Johnson. Johnson. You know what I'm talking about, Johnson. Okay, money is the lubricant of love. Forget all these women and their Christianity. But when you have money, the way your wife holds is different. Honey, please, just come. Take care. She doesn't want you to die, so that money, oh. He's an idiot. According to Nigeria, Mumu. So save some money aside for the opportunity that will come. There was a building near my school, and we had been saving. And it came up for sale. The people who were doing big boys around. You know the Indians don't do big boys. No. The Indian man is very simple. The Jew is very simple. The Lebanese is very simple. Where we went to yesterday, he saw the man serving us. He was the owner of the restaurant. He was serving. And so, we were saving. When the building came up for sale, those who were raising their shoulders like peacock didn't have money to buy. And we bought. Today I'm turning it to a hostel. And the price increased up to twofold. Do you know you can buy houses and sell in this country? You know you can do it. I don't know if they allow that. So, save money aside to start. The next thing is love capital. Somebody say love capital. Love. Say it again. Love capital. My video, just follow me now. Love capital. Love. Yes. Love capital is the money you get from those who love you that you are meant to pay back or not pay back, depending on the agreement. The problem with church people in Africa, I don't know here, if they take money from you, if you give them money, they find it difficult to pay back. So most people are not ready to give you $5,000. Instead, meet 5 people to give you $1,000. I'm just using a number. It is not difficult for him to give me $5,000 to join to my business. But it is easier for me to get $1,000 from her, $1,000 from her, $1,000 from her, $1,000 from her, and $1,000 from him. Does that make sense? And so when you get that kind of money, do not tell them the same date to return it, stagger it. I will give you back in March, I will give you back in April, I will give you back in May, I will give you back in June, I will give you back in July. The person that is closest to you in love, let the person have the last date, because he will be more tolerant of you. Is it making sense? Yes, sir. And so, pay him when it is due. The problem with church people is that they will assume that because we are church people that we will not pay back. Pay back when it is due. If the product is consumable, give to him with a bottle of wine and a thank you letter. What I have experienced in Nigeria is that if you tell the person that this thing is good, what they will most likely tell you, please go and use the money again and bring it back later. And what I found some of them do is that, can I give you money so that when we do the business, you will give me part of the profit? But the danger is that this lady that is your auntie, make sure you pay her money. Because business is founded on integrity, performance, and reputation. Integrity, performance, and reputation. Now, and reputation is an outcome of integrity and performance. And so, if this lady that is your auntie goes to, and people complain one day, Sister Mary has not been able to give me back my money. And she will say, but the one she took from me, she paid back. It might be something that is wrong. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So, integrity. That's love capital. Can we say it again? Love capital. When I was coming, I was wondering what I was going to teach you next, whether it will work. But I was glad. My eyes are very sharp. Somewhere around one of the junctions, I saw something cooperative society. Something cooperative. I saw cooperative. One of the things that is bringing money for those in the third world, particularly Bangladesh, India, and Nigeria. One man called Muhammad Yunus, who was the founder of the Grameen Bank. My friend, sit down. You're a big boy. The founder of the Grameen Bank started by starting a cooperative. What is a cooperative? Cooperatives are registered institutions by government. In Nigeria, you have a cooperative college. They study it, cooperative college. And in each state, you have a cooperative officer. And in each major town, you have a cooperative officer. What is a cooperative? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20 of us come together. We set up an administration for it. We register it with government. And then, periodically, usually monthly, there is a fixed amount of money that we contribute. Does it make sense? Are you angry with me? There is a fixed amount of money that we contribute. Assuming it is $50 every month, and we are 20. In 1 month, we will have contributed $1,000, not so? In 12 months, we will have contributed $12,000. Is that all right? In 3 years, we will have contributed $36,000. Not so? And that $36,000 is the basic amount. You, on your own, apart from the, is it $50 I said? Apart from the $50, you can be paying $200 into your own account. When the cooperative has matured, a time comes when you need a facility, a loan to start a business. Nobody is going to ask you for your collateral. Your collateral is your money there and the money of the people who are going to guarantee you. I am entitled to $3,000. And then the cooperative will charge you a certain percentage based on the laws of the nation. Some cooperatives can take 10% from you. And that 10% goes into the funds of the cooperative while you take your 90% and go. And then you'll be paying back monthly. And because it is a legal entity, if you don't pay back, the country's laws will arrest you. Does that make sense? Yes. And so you can gather money. Let me just use church for example. Assuming our church, the Church of God Mission, if we have 1,000 men who contribute 1,000 naira every week, in 1 year we will have 52 million naira.